We have to continue to elect more socialists, and we have to ensure that we are unapologetic about our socialism. There are also other issues that we firmly believe in, whether it's BDS, right, or whether it's the end goal of ceasing the means of production.
Hello and welcome to the FSPF report. Today, I cannot hold my peace any longer. We have to address the so-called Democratic Socialist Party that is trying to spread itself like a cancer through these United States of America, and why we cannot let that happen, and why if we do let that happen, it will be bad for us. Also, we have to address big things that are shaking up the NBA, like the Los Angeles Lakers acquiring DeAndre Ayton. And of course, we have to have a faith segment where we read a scripture. And last but not least, we will share a piece of financial advice. So let's kick things off with our scripture today. I opened the Holy Bible app today and it read John 20:29. Jesus said unto him, Thomas, because you have seen me, you believe. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet they believe. In other words, keep the faith. There's more to this life than money. There's more to this life than clothes. There's more to this life than likes and social media. Don't fool yourself and forget that there is a sun that hangs on nothing, a moon that hangs on nothing, stars that hang on nothing, your consciousness, your words, and all these different beautiful things inside of our lives that you did not create and they did not create themselves. Okay, let's move on. Let's dive into sports. Before we hit deep with the politics, let's just pick up on something nice and soft and friendly, like the Los Angeles Lakers acquiring DeAndre Ayton. That, to me, makes them a contender off the rip. If you remember last season, one of their big letdowns was they didn't have depth at the big man spot. Now with this move, they do have that depth. Now with this move, they do have a true big three. I mean, Austin Reeves is really good and he does some really good things, but I don't know if he's makes Luka and LeBron a big threat, a big three. DeAndre Ayton, if I'm not mistaken, he was a number 1 overall pick coming out of Arizona. He is a big three caliber player. So let's just go through their roster and look at their top 8 and then some honorable mentions and why I think that they could play with anybody next season. Let's go through it. So you have LeBron, arguably the greatest career of all time, in my opinion, not the greatest player, but arguably the greatest career of all time. LeBron, Luka, Roy Hachimura, you have Austin Reeves, you have Hayes, who's another 7-footer that can catch lobs, block shots, run the floor, those types of things you need in the NBA. Jared Vanderbilt, 3 and D. Gabe Vincent, 3, maybe less D, but definitely 3-point shot, definitely ball handling, definitely give you some good looks, some good feels, can get hot, get going. You need that on a winning team, right? We remember what he did for the Miami Heat when they made their run to the finals a couple of years back before Lakers made their move for him and paid him 3 year, 30 million or something like that, gave him his real money. I mean, he earned that money by what he did with the Miami Heat. So moving on, you have honorable mentions like Alex Len, Finley Smith, Dalton Connect, and of course, LeBron James' son, Bronny James. Who knows what he's going to develop into this year? I don't think he's going to produce much, but that's going to draw fans. So if you ask me, Lakers are in prime position. You have LeBron on another potential farewell tour. You have a new DeAndre Ayton and Luka Doncic duo that's going to merge and form and learn itself this upcoming season. If you would have said 5 years ago, let's just take 4 or 5 years ago, these two are on the same team, that's big time. That's big time. So I think that this stage in their career, they get together, they can do big things. Okay. But let's just move on to politics because we have to talk about this guy right here.
The purpose is about this entire project. It's not simply to raise class consciousness, but to win socialism. And obviously raising class consciousness is a critical part of that. But making sure that we have candidates that both understand that and are willing to put that forward at every which moment that they have, at every which opportunity that they're given. We have to continue to elect more socialists. And we have to ensure that we are unapologetic about our socialism. There are also other issues that we firmly believe in, whether it's BDS, right, or whether it's the end goal of ceasing the means of production. And with every battle that we fight.
So this gentleman's name is Zohran Mamdani. Zohran Mamdani. He's a Muslim. Freedom of religion in this country. He's an immigrant. Freedom to assimilate properly into this country. but he is a self-proclaimed socialist. I don't see anywhere in the Constitution where it says this is a socialist, communist regime. The Democrats have spent the last 4 years attacking everything that the Republicans do. Oh, that's unconstitutional. Is this not unconstitutional? When he says seize the means of production, in other words, he's saying to take private ownership away and put everything in the possession of the state or the government. What is that? To give you an idea of what this guy lines up with. Socialist countries include China, Cuba, North Korea. You guys remember North Korea? You guys remember China? Our sworn enemies, right? The Democrats, accompanied with the media, have taught you, subconsciously have ingrained in the American mind what it is that is acceptable and unacceptable. And the Democratic Party is nothing more than a group of people who have proposed no-nos, proposed unacceptables, proposed bad behavior, dialogue that without outright saying it, guide you in the direction of considering what is good and what is bad. That's what all the racist talk has been about. That's what all the misogyny talk has been about. That's what all the sexist talk has been about. That's what all of this stuff has been about. Bad, bad, bad. Felon, rapist, Nazi, white supremacist. Do you know why they are so adamant about pushing those things into the mind of Americans to be perceived as bad or to be perceived as no-nos? Because if you're looking this way, you can't see what's coming this way. And what's coming this way is the Socialist Communist Party that has been developing itself inside universities for the last 40 years, led by women who hate men and men who hate themselves. Now, you don't have to agree with me, but that's the facts. They set up all the programs, all the divorce programs. They set up all the programs to remove the father from the home, to enable and encourage women to be single mothers, to empower themselves. They set up all the programs for children to be degenerate. They've set up all the programs for children during their upbringing to have the wrong framework of thinking that hard work is good and what you reap is what you sow. And now we have an entire country, an entire nation, about 50 to 60% of the people who come from divorced homes, who come from single parent homes, who have come from getting subsidies and grants and benefits from the federal government. And now we have an entire country, or at least on the upper side of half the country, who feels entitled to benefits from the government. Let me tell you something. Without all of this, without the homes, without the cars, without the running water, do you know what our life is? You sleep outside. You break the branches off the tree and you set up shelter for yourself. That's the real world. This is a fake world. This is the so-called Matrix, right? Nobody owes you anything. All of this is a blessing. All of this is excessive. All of this is more than you need. It's all more than a necessity. It is all luxury, all of it. Plumbing, running water, AC, transportation, housing, clothing, access to all of this in abundance is luxury. It's not a right. It's a luxury. And when people like this come along, this Ma'am Donnie, and they want to say they'll give you everything for free, where do you get this idea? There's nothing in this life that is for free. What they're saying is, we want you to work and we want you to give all of your money that you spent all of your time to earn. We want you to give that money to us. We want the profits for ourselves because we know what to do with your money better than you know what to do with your money. I mean, who are these socialists that propose that you give me, I say to you, you give me your money. I'm a human, you're a human. You don't get your money, I get your money because I know what to do better with your money than you do. I'm not greedy, you're greedy. You don't need your money, I need it. And then people just fall for it. Oh, free stuff. Oh, freeze rent. Oh, free healthcare. Oh, free childcare. Free? Free? So all of this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And I don't know, as an American people, when we get to push back and say, no, you're not going to take over our country with your ideology. Unconstitutional ideology at that, even though you're pointing the finger. It's kind of like your third grade teacher used to tell you you're pointing a finger, but there's four fingers pointing back at you. That's the Democratic Party. That's unconstitutional. That's terrible. You hate women. You hate women, but boys should be able to compete in our daughters' sports. We don't hate women. We love women. That's unconstitutional. You're a Republican. To the republic in which it stands. Ever heard that? I'm a socialist, but I'm not unconstitutional. They want to overtake our country. They want millions and millions and millions of people who do not speak the English language to come here, take you and I's hard-earned money, tax us to no end, and use the taxes that they get, and of course also the money that they just print for themselves, to fund a luxury stay for those illegal immigrants. So the illegal immigrants only know one thing: Democratic Party good, Republican Party bad. And when it's time to vote every 4 years, you have 15 to 20 million undocumented immigrants who run to the polls and vote in their best interest. And you have states like California who won't require ID when you come to vote. Just come in, just come vote. Vote 7 times, vote. We don't know. We don't care. Just vote. As long as you're doing it for the Democratic Party. And of course, if for some reason there would be more Republican votes than Democratic votes, well, then we'll just figure out a way to disappear those ballots. Or maybe we'll fake a disease and everybody has to stand in the house and mail in their ballots. And oops, the USPS, well, we lost 30,000 here and 40,000 there votes. No big deal. This is unacceptable. It's truly become unacceptable. The media needs to be held responsible for the lies, the deceit. They passed the big, beautiful bill today. You know what? The media comes out. The big, ugly bill is going to kill more people than we've ever seen. What are you talking about? You guys voted against it, but inside that bill is no tax on tips. Remember Kamala? Stole that from Donald Trump. He said it 2 weeks prior to, then all of a sudden, oh, no tax on tips. I'll make sure of it. But here's the true intentions of the Democratic Party. They don't care about the working class. They don't care about U.S. citizens. They don't care about anybody. They don't care about billionaires. Or do they? Because more billionaires supported Kamala Harris and Tim Walz than billionaires supported Donald Trump. And why is that? Something smells fishy. Something smells like corruption. I keep saying it. We know more about where Diddy kept his baby oil in his house than we do about Matthew Crooks, who shot the president in the head and killed a fireman and a father who was a U.S. citizen. And yet we know more about Diddy and where he kept his oil. What's the media? Who's running the media? I mean, what are you guys doing other than causing chaos, and then trying to make the American people believe because I'm up here in front of a camera, in front of a microphone, once again, being chaotic. It's because I've been provoked by this man and this party because they are chaotic. This political party is chaotic. It's not me. It's not all the world's going to end, and then next month the job reports come out and jobs are increasing. Oh, well, I was wrong about that. Oh, inflation, we're going to hit a recession and inflation's coming down. Well, we don't want to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. We're only going to fearmonger. And if the things that we perpetuate to be afraid of don't come to fruition, then we're just going to leave it alone. We're not going to bring it back up. The stock market and people's 401k is going down, and well, that's bounced back in the stock market's as high as it's ever been. But who said anything about the stock market? We in it, right? What are the Democrats doing? How is it even acceptable? Last but not least, as always, we want to invite you to learn all about the beautiful investment and financial opportunity that is 7K. 7K Metals gives you an opportunity to invest and also earn passive income. For more information on that opportunity, email us at thefspfreport@gmail.com. That's thefspfreport@gmail.com.